they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us names. I can feel the sunlight shining in.
Well, good morning and welcome to episode 851 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee is strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter free. I'm Brian, your host, and it's August 18th, 2025. This morning, I'm enjoying a fresh cup of light Costa Rican from foodforestfarms.com because life's too short for shitty coffee. At Food Forest Farms, your beans are roasted by real human hands using clean stream air roaster. More than just a customer, your family. Get 10% off with code LOTS10, 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 and the shipping is always free. While you're there, check out C4 Club for even more awesome perks. Today, we've got another pack show. We'll be talking about the kitty integration, Miss Dolly's integration into our family and how that's going. Baby steps on the cabin build, what we accomplished this week. Cayenne pepper overload that we've been having over the last little bit, and what Kori's been doing with them, and some more thoughts on that. And a fun round of What's the Capital took place this weekend. I'll share that with you too, and a little bit more. So grab your coffee, smash the like button, and let's get started. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing today? Hope everything is going well. Your last week has been great. Good morning, Mike's Homestead. How's it going today? And Hunter said, "Oh, it works this morning." What works this morning? Did you have a tough time last week with Twitch? I noticed you weren't around. I remember getting a couple of Twitch scammers last week, so I was happy. I'm not very happy they weren't here to take care of those, but Hunter's reception's been sucking for a month or so. Rewilder Life, good morning. How are you? Says it's finally cooler today in the 60s. It is. We got a warm stretch going on again here. I think it's supposed to be 2 or 3 days. I think 2 more days. 2 more days. Started Friday going into Saturday, and then yesterday was quite warm, pushing 100 on the regular temp, and then the real feel was a little bit warmer. And then I think today, tomorrow, and then later into the week, it's supposed to drop down back into the 80s. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. At least it won't be a 4 weeks straight of pushing 100 every day. I don't think anymore. But I'll take the heat. I will definitely take the heat. All I do when it's this hot and I'm sweating and soaking wet, I just realized that it won't likely ever be negative 30 here, so that's comforting. So Hunter says he thinks they're out outdating his phone. Out modding his phone. Oh no. What kind of phone do you have that you're that far out that they're drowning your signal out? I keep getting text messages that I'm due for a free upgrade with Verizon, and they're going to give me a free phone and all this shit. And I don't know if we're going to do it because we don't get really any Verizon reception around here at all. And we're out of our contracts. We're definitely out of our contracts. So we can move to anybody we want, and we're just waiting to see what we want to do when we sit out at the cabin. So we don't know. For right now, we just stick with what we got. I've had a big crack on my phone screen for several years now, and it just hasn't changed. Knock on wood. It's continued to work. So that's always nice. Definitely. You get that crack in your phone screen, and you want to make sure you have all your backup phrases, your two-factor authentication codes, and all of that stuff recorded somewhere, because it could go bye-bye in one drop of the phone. So just thought there. Speaking of key phrases, Bitcoin is on sale today for sure. It dropped over the weekend a little bit. Dropped in last night before I went to bed. I got a got a notification that it just dipped below 116. And I woke up to a notification that it dropped below 115. And right now, we're sitting at 115, 155. I would say that's on sale. I would say it was on sale. So, if you got any extra cash laying around that you were thinking about putting in Bitcoin, I think today would be the day. I don't know how much more it's going to go down. I don't know when it's going to go up, but I think 115 sounds like a good price to me. So, think about it. And let's get going with the first topic of the show. We got a cat. We got a kitten, Dolly. Talked about her the last couple of weeks. She showed up outside, a little tiny kitten, probably 8 weeks old. 3 weeks old. 8 weeks old. Just kind of hanging out outside. Really, really friendly. As soon as Kori fed it, of course, gave it a can of tuna when it was out there, and it really appeared it was going to stick around. Would kind of play with you outside and run towards you. We still have adult cats that are around outside that want nothing to do with us. One female cat, she lives under the camper, and I'm curious if this is her kitten. Maybe she only had one, maybe only one survived. We haven't really seen any other kittens, and I'm not really sure what the deal with it is, but we do have one female cat. She wants nothing to do with us except the shelter underneath the camper. So she's been around. She's still around. The kitten was all about coming and playing and messing around with you and playing little games. Kori kind of adopted it, and I ended up building it in a shelter outside, and that was long lasted, about 2 days. After that, we ended up taking it to the vet, and Kori constructed a little cat palace in her room, and that's, I think, kind of where we left off last week. Kori had built a little double-decker kennel, I guess, cage in her room, on her desk, her work desk, and like underneath the desk, there's a spot where there's a hard-sided kennel that she can go into and get away and kind of be in a little cave. Her litter box is down there, and that's originally where she was, completely just below the desk, and then she was getting her litter and her food and water, and that's not good. So Kori came up with a plan to enclose the top of her desk to the same area. So now she's got a downstairs and an upstairs, and made a little ramp so she can go between the two. And she really likes it. She goes up and down. Now she's got a little cat tower patio perch thing in the top. She has some toys. She has her food and water up there. She's got it easy, man. I wish I was a little kitten outside and Kori would adopt me, because she really takes care of that thing. And not that she doesn't take care of me. I mean, she definitely takes care of me more than she ever should, and I appreciate that for sure. But this kitten is pretty pampered, for sure. But the cat is not satisfied. The cat wants to get out of the enclosure for sure, and has really become quite of an escape artist. There's been several times over the week that the cat has found its way out of the enclosure. Sometimes while Kori is back there working, and it'll just pop out and be sitting there next to her on the desk, and she'll be able to corral it and put it back in or hold it. Sometimes while we're out in the other room watching TV, and the dogs definitely alert to her being free and take off after her. We haven't had any serious incidences. A lot of sniffing. I think Norman might have put the kitty in his mouth. I think he might have. I don't know if he put her in his mouth or if he was just so slobbery at the time that he was sniffing her and nosing her that she got soaking wet. But one of the instances, Norman had her pinned in the corner, and once we got him pulled off, and got Clyde pulled away. Kori picked up the kitten, and she was just soaking wet. Inspected her. She didn't have any bites. She didn't have any blood. It didn't seem like she was injured in any way. She was walking fine, but she was definitely pinned in the corner and soaking wet from dog slobber. When Norman stares at her, when he goes, and they're pretty still obsessed of her. They're getting better, but they're pretty obsessed still. And when they will stare at her, he'll just drool, slobber coming, streaming out of his mouth at points. So I don't know if that's just excitement. I don't know if that is he's salivating to get at her, to eat her, to chew on her, to chase her. I don't know what it is. Clyde seems to be doing pretty well. And then Kori has been giving Dolly a playtime every day. So she'll go back there. She'll gate off the back room, and the dogs can sit at the gate, and they do. They sit right there and stare. But Kori takes her out and gives her a whole room to run around in. She gets the zoomies in there and has a good old time. The dogs watch. They've gotten better. They don't react as much. And then she's also been letting the dogs in while she's been holding her, and a little bit more of cautious letting her down, and really keeping an eye on the dogs and letting them get interacting. So we're giving it a few weeks. We'll see. Kori thinks could be up to a couple months of doing this and just getting them familiar with each other and interacting with each other, and hopefully they all get along. And I think they'd really like each other if the dogs would just calm down. I think that they would be pretty good buddies, but we'll see. I dread the day that something happens. That's my biggest concern, is that there's a mistake. There is an accidental bite. There is a little too much of a rough play. There's a stray paw that hits a tiny little kitten, because I've been hit with Norman's paws, and they're not light, and he can swing them pretty hard. So even if he's attempting to play, he could end up hurting the little thing, and I don't want to deal with that. And Kori's pretty attached to the thing, and I don't want to see it hurt. I don't want to see have to deal with the aftermath of it being hurt. So we'll see what happens. But integrating well. She's integrating well, and we'll see what happens here in the next couple of weeks. Moving on from that, Free Wilder Life says once they learn she's got nails, they'll back off. Our dogs both have scars on their noses. That's funny. So Kori's coworker has a Great Dane that they got after we got Clyde, and they got a cat, and she was saying that the cat clawed the dog in the nose, and the claw popped out and stuck in the dog's nose, and the dog is still obsessed with the cat. The dog didn't even give a shit that the claw was stuck in the tip of its nose. So we were hoping that once she got a little bigger and she could take a decent swat at him with her claws, that it would kind of take care of this whole thing. But then our friend told us that story, and we're like, oh, so it doesn't necessarily take care of the issues. And Rewilder Life says our 5-pound cat rules the house. She couldn't give a shit about the dogs, other than when they get in there and get after her. She's obviously terrified in the corner, but when she's behind her cage and they're staring at her like 2 inches from her cage, she just ignores them, doesn't really even give a shit. When she has playtime in the back room, the dogs will be just obsessively staring at her, and she couldn't care less. She runs around, she plays, and she just ignores them. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I didn't choose the cat. The cat was brought into my life unexpectedly, let's say. So we'll leave that at that. Guys, if you're looking to secure your Bitcoin, whether you're just getting started in your Bitcoin journey or if you've been stacking for years, the Blockstream Jade and Jade Plus make self-custody simple and secure. With the new Jade Plus, you get a bigger screen, upgraded controls, and even an optional metal case for extra durability. Protect your Bitcoin the right way. Get your Jade or Jade Plus at blockstreamstore.blockstream.com. And you don't forget to use discount code The Lots Project for 10% off. And yeah, I'll earn a little bit of affiliate commission when you do that. So I appreciate that. Or you can scroll down into the video description, click on the link, and the discount code is automatically applied at checkout. The Blockstream Jade and Jade Plus, I've been using them for quite a while now, and I love my Jade Plus. So check out the Blockstream Jade. Oh, I got the Jade right over here. Hold on one second. I was doing a little video content on them, so you can see the difference between the Jade and Jade Plus. For those of you watching the video. Oh, all right, moving on. What is next on the list? Cabin update. Not a whole lot on the cabin front. We did get some material. Still waiting on our next phase material, our large order of material. Gentleman that's going to be hauling and transferring that is quite busy, and I really don't even have a date yet. Tried to wrangle him this weekend for a date and have not heard back yet. So that's always stressful. Going to be at least a week out because the lead time on the lumber is a week from when I order it. So that is that. But we did have some material. We do have a little work we can do prior to getting that lumber. We're going to be putting a big beam down the center of the floor, of the long way, like a 35-foot beam, to support the floor joists and the floor. And underneath that span, we're going to be putting a bunch of piers. And so we're going to be using the little precast, like you're going to build a deck, the precast concrete 4x4 post holders, some 4x4s, and then we're going to put in gravel pad underneath them. So digging down probably 12 to 16 inches, compacting it with a tamper, and then compacting in gravel. So that is all stuff that I was able to pick up. So we went to Lowe's this weekend, picked up gravel and the concrete piers, and I got that out to the property. So we picked it up Saturday. We went down. We do our grocery shopping and town errands on Saturday morning. We ran down there. We went to Lowe's for that on that trip. Kori went with me. And so for the project, we're gonna need 14 bags of gravel. So 50-pound bags of gravel, 700 pounds of gravel, and then 5 of these concrete piers, which I believe are about 50 pounds apiece, 40 pounds apiece, something like that. So we got a couple of carts and we loaded those up. If you've ever loaded the gravel bags at Lowe's, picking through them to find the ones that don't have a big holes in them, that aren't a quarter empty, are always interesting. So I got those loaded up, and we pull them up to the checkout. We went to the pro checkout. I didn't do self checkout with all this material. I think that would have been just a shit show. But go to the pro checkout. The girl was ringing us up. She scanned the bags of gravel. We had some other odds and ends, a pair of gloves and cotter pin to fix our toilet, which was odd that broke. The handle, the spinny handle that agitates the bucket. The pin sheared off after, I don't know, what has this been, 3.5 years now. So I needed a new pin so that would actually turn and the handle wouldn't spin. A couple other things. So she scans all that stuff, and then Kori's behind me with the cart with the 5 blocks on it. And I don't know if you've ever seen these things. They're like a little square. They're square. They come up and there's a little slot for the 4x4 post in the top. And so the girl looks at them, and there's no barcode on them to scan them, and she's just like looking at them, and I could tell she's looking confused. And so she goes, and I'm standing there, and I could see the screen. And so if you've ever been at Lowe's, if they're gonna type something in, it actually looks like the website when they try to find things in their inventory. And so I could tell she had no idea what they were. And so she types in the first thing, and she types in concrete blocks. And I'm like, oh God. And she starts scrolling, and I see it. And it's like over 1,000 product results. And she starts scrolling, and it's all like the little pavers and the edging blocks and cinder blocks. And I didn't see these at all as she's scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And then she gets the brilliant idea to click on in-store option. And it brought it down to like 400 and something. And she's scrolling through, scrolls all the way through, and they didn't come up. And I'm like, oh God. And so she scrolls up and down a bunch of times, and there's some dude standing there, some other employee standing over near the pro desk, and she yells to him. She goes, "Hey, can you go get the numbers for these things?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure." And he starts to waddle over down the aisle, and they're about 3/4 of the way down the aisle, and all I could think of is this: it's gonna take this guy like 45 minutes to get to there and back. And so I'm standing there and I'm looking at the screen, and she couldn't care. There's a line building behind us. Two guys are having a full-blown conversation behind Kori, and a couple of guys are starting to get in line behind them. And I looked at her and I said, "Why don't you search concrete piers?" She's like, "What?" I said, "Click on the search button." She did. I said, "Right, type concrete and piers, Piers." And she types it in, and I see it pop down below, and she's just staring at the screen like, what is this? And so I reach over and I click on the screen, concrete pier blocks, and or concrete block piers, and I click on it, and one item comes up, and she's just like amazed. She looks at the screen, her eyes are all wide. She looks at me, and she gets her pen out and she writes down what it was, the name of the thing on her little notepad and the number. And so she rings up to 5, and she continues to check us out, and we're going through the thing, and the guy, I'm almost done paying. The guy comes up and he's like, gives her the number, and she just like nods at him. Like the whole process, we were almost done checking out, and the guy finally got back with the number. But man, I would think that was a pretty common item that gets purchased at Lowe's. Maybe not. They got her working checkout at the pro desk, and I don't know. Maybe I should get a job at Lowe's. I wonder if you get an employee discount. I wonder if I could handle working at Lowe's. I don't know. It'd be interesting. The gentleman that helps me at the pro desk that signed Tim up for his pro account, that when we order stuff for Delinquent Scully, he's a pretty interesting. I think if I could deal with that part of it, and not just the general I don't know. It'd be interesting. Maybe I should see if Lowe's would let me get a job there for a little bit. But anyway, got that up to the cabin. Oh, when we bought some shelves, we bought some shelving units for 2 different types of shelving units for the shed, the garden shed that's up there. We've been taking more and more of our random stuff out there that we don't need here any longer, and it's just been kind of piling up in totes and piling on the ground in the shed. And so we finally picked up some shelving units. We picked up a 4 shelf, cheaper plastic one. It was like $30 there at Lowe's. I think each shelf holds 50 pounds. And then a larger and I don't know if it's the Command Tote brand, but the same black and yellow heavy duty plastic. I think it's rated for 200 pounds per shelf. Just a 3-shelf lower shelving unit, and on the picture it showed the black and yellow Command Totes on it. So I think it's designed that width, which we have. We've transitioned to those from the Roughnecks. We love those Roughnecks from Home Depot that seem to have disappeared. But maybe they're back, but they disappeared for quite a while, and we transitioned to the black and yellow Command Totes, which I like those. They work fairly well, and they stack really nice. So there is that. But we pretty much moved when Kori and I moved from apartments to houses to different houses when we bought the farm. We pretty much moved in roughneck totes, so we had lots and lots of those, and we used them for animal feed and everything under the sun. So it was a tough transition to the Command Totes, but we've consolidated down to those. But I put those shelving units together yesterday while I was out there, and it was hot, man. It was hot in that shed. After unloading all the bags of gravel and the concrete piers and kind of staging those out underneath the canopy, I put those shelving units together in the shed, and it was warm. It was warm. So those are up. They fit really well. The one, the heavier duty one is, I think we probably end up getting those and running those all along the one wall, underneath the windows in that Mistmo shed. And then the other one will just be for odds and ends, and we just needed to get some shelving in there. So that's the update on the cabin. Still waiting on that big material transfer. It won't be this week. It definitely won't be this week. So hopefully he gets back to me and I can get that material ordered and we get it out there the week after, next week. And in the meantime, we will be getting those little concrete gravel pads for the piers to sit on, all dug out, compacted, and leveled, and get the piers ready for when we have material to make the beams, and we'll go from there and get that floor hung. So, cabin update, this week's cabin update, and not a whole lot there. So, let's move on. On the list. So Kori had a little bit of a garden going this year. Free Wildlife said she's considered a local hardware for the discounts hardware store. I don't know. It might be worth it. I don't even know what they pay at Lowe's. I don't know. It'd be an easy drive from the new location. It isn't a horrible drive from where we're at now. I don't know. I should think about that. Part-time for sure. So Kori had a little bit of a garden here and I guess she still does, at the camper this year. Had to grow something. We really missed. We've missed since we left. We've missed growing things. We've missed the garden. We've missed the animals. We missed that. And so this year, since we knew we weren't going to be moving, we knew we weren't going to be traveling, and the only thing we were going to do is move to the cabin if we moved anywhere, was she wanted to get some growing things, a little bit of a garden. So way back in the spring, she started a bunch of plants. She started a jalapeno plant, a cayenne pepper plant, a bunch of marigolds, and some herbs. I believe some rosemary and a few other herbs. Thyme. The herbs quickly got beat up by the heat. And dried out and didn't fare as well as the peppers. But the pepper plants really took off right away. We bought them as starts. We didn't start them from seeds. We bought them at Lowe's. They were, I don't know, 6 inches tall, maybe 10 inches tall. quickly the jalapeno just shot right up and started putting fruit on immediately. It was very odd how quickly we started to see jalapenos, and we've seen jalapenos producing all summer. We routinely make carnitas in the crock pot, and every week Kori would go out and get one jalapeno for the carnitas. No fail, there was always one ready. They're kind of harvested all year, starting in, I don't know, it was probably May. Once a week all summer long, and then she's also had to harvest a few more for the other plants that I'll talk about here in a second. But right now, in the middle of August, after harvesting continually all year, we have more flowers on the jalapeno plant. We have some smaller ones that are growing right away, are still growing away. They're still getting bigger, which is new for us, and I think it's got to be because of the weather, and the maybe the sun cycle, the amount of sunlight. I don't know, but in Minnesota, we love growing peppers. We love growing them. We love making chili powders. We loved making all sorts of different combination chili powders. We liked having the chilies around. I grew tons of different types of peppers. But when we would grow them, it was a race against the clock to get one harvest, to get all of them all at once. Hopefully they were ripe all by the end of the season. There were many times we grew them in 5-gallon buckets in Minnesota, just for the reason that at the end of the season we were able to bring them into the garage. If it was going to be a frost, bring them in and out. We would start them way early under lights, and it was like a fingers crossed that we got a harvest. It's been very different here, harvesting the jalapenos all summer, and now the Cayennes. Basically, that plant took quite a while to show fruit. It put a bunch of flowers on, and then all of a sudden it put on a ton of cayenne peppers, and they grew out, and they just kept producing, and they kind of got ripe in a batch. And so a few weeks ago, Kori, we had to do something with them, and we really didn't know what we wanted to do. Our main thing that we used to do when we would batch harvest peppers, like I said, was we would dry them. So we would dry them, grind them up into powder, and then use them, whether it would have been a straight single style pepper powder or a combination of a bunch of different types. And we don't have a dehydrator here. We kind of looked up a couple of different redneck dehydrator methods. Would have loved to hang them and just dry them naturally, but it's so humid here. I think they would have rotted before they dried out, even in the camper with the air conditioning, and it's less humid in here with the air conditioning on. But I didn't think that it was just too humid to air dry them. So I looked into a couple. There was a method that you could put them on a cookie sheet in the cab of your car, in the inside of your car. Crack the windows just a little bit for ventilation, and every once in a while come in and open the door and shut the door. But in the hot sun, it basically turns your car into a dehydrator. And if you leave the window cracked, it'll kind of siphon the air through to get your little air movement. Haven't tried it. Might now. We still have peppers coming. I might give it a try. I would be interesting. Once we get out to the property, I'm definitely going to make solar dehydrator with a couple of computer fans in it, and just make a simple solar dehydrator to not have to use any energy, because we're planning on hopefully growing a bunch of stuff that we could dehydrate and save. But I looked up that, and we haven't tried that yet. But Kori decided to make some hot sauce. So she harvested a batch of cayennes and rounded it out with some jalapenos for some flavor and some added bulk, but made a kind of a refrigerator pickled hot sauce. Pretty good, pretty good. She got a couple jars out of that and kind of stripped the pepper plant clean, and then miraculously right away it filled right back up with cayennes. And these things just they ripen so fast, and it was funny to watch. She kind of she lets the plant get stressed. I don't know if it's on purpose. I don't know if it is on purpose or if it is what it is. But the it was funny. The cayennes were all kind of dark, really dark, almost to black, and they had little red tips on them. And she went out one morning and watered the plant, and by the afternoon, the whole cayennes, all of them had just turned bright red. So then she had another batch, and she didn't know she was going to get another batch. Ended up harvesting them and a few more jalapenos and made a second round of fermented, or it's not really fermented, it's pickled refrigerator hot sauce. It's not shelf stable, but it's I guess it's stable for several months in the refrigerator. Lots of vinegar and salt. So she made a second round of that, and now lo and behold, look out, and less, but there are definitely several bright red cayennes on the peppers. So new to us, we're getting several harvests of peppers off these pepper plants, and having to adjust what we do with them and how we handle having the production. So I think I'm going to try this if she's willing to give them up, which I don't know. She loves her hot sauce. She's really a big fan of it. I always I'm kind of stuck in the Frank's Red Hot phase, that the stuff that I put hot sauce on. I like the flavor of the Frank's Red Hot, and her sauce is very, very good, and it tastes great. It just tastes different than what I'm used to, and out of habit, I always grab the Frank's and have it on there and go, oh crap, I should have tried her sauce. But she's going through it plenty fast, and I think she'll do all right with finishing it up. So I don't know if we got enough peppers on there for another batch of sauce, so maybe I can convince her to give that the truck cab dehydrator a go and see what happens, because I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. So that's our cayenne pepper overload. And the jalapeno, like, everything has flowers on it now, so I don't even know. I don't think we're done for the year yet. I think we're actually we might be in store for another round going into fall. So I don't know. We'll see. That would be very, very interesting, and I would be excited. That would be exciting for me, because I really like messing around with peppers. I like growing different types and doing different things with them. So if we could get multiple harvests throughout the year, that could be fun. So that is that. Let's move on to a little thing that Kori and I this weekend. So I fancy myself a trivia guy, I guess. I have a lot of useless shit in my noggin, a lot of useless information. Great at Jeopardy type of things. Great, just things like I remember shit. I remember shit that I read. I remember shit that I learned in school and things like that. And so this weekend, Kori and I were driving back from our weekend trip to town to do stuff. And the topic came up of what the capital of Tennessee is. Actually, the topic came up of the state fair in Tennessee, and we just went down a little path and ended up wondering what the capital of Tennessee was. And I was like, man, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure exactly what it was. I thought that Nashville was too obvious of a choice. I remembered back from I think it was fifth grade when you learned all the capitals of all the states, that a lot of them weren't the major city in the state. And I was thinking that Nashville was one of those gotcha answers. Lo and behold, it is Nashville. If you're wondering, if you're listening and you're wondering what the capital of Tennessee is, and it is Nashville. Same with like Minneapolis and Minnesota. So many people think that Minneapolis is the capital of Minnesota, but it's actually St. Paul, one of the twin cities, because they're across the river from each other. They don't look anything alike, but I guess they're the twin cities because they're close to each other. But anyway, that got us going and playing the capital game. Kori and I sat in the truck. Lots of laughs, lots of wrong answers. I actually ended up using ChatGPT to sit there, and we ended up going through, I believe, all 50 states. And man, really bad, really bad. But in the end, we kind of looked at each other and wondered, why do I need to know the capitals of every state? Is it just because? Does it serve any value to know the capitals of states that you have nothing to do with? I can understand knowing the capital of the state you live in, or maybe the neighboring states or a state you move to. But is this something that can be like instructed to you when you get your driver's license, or when you buy a house, or when you move to a particular state? They're like, hey, by the way, the state capital is XYZ. Or even, does it matter at that point? Do you need to know unless you need to know? And it made me wonder, like back in fifth grade when you were studying I can understand learning the states. Like, what are the states in your country? But what purpose does knowing the capitals of each state? I think it's just because. But I remember how much kids stressed out about it, how big of a deal it was back in school, where you had to pass the test or you weren't going to go to sixth grade. You had to be able to label the map with all the states and all the capitals. And you had to get, so that was 100 things you had to fill out. And if you didn't get at least 65 out of the 100, you weren't going to go on to the next grade or some shit. What was the point? Do you ever need to know what the capital of fucking New Mexico is? Unless you live in New Mexico? How about Wyoming or Montana? Why do we need to have kids memorize these things? They make them smarter. Does it build skills of memorization? Does that help in future life? But it just made me wonder. It made me question why. And maybe there is a legitimate reason, and I'm just missing it. But I don't think that there was ever a time in my life so far where knowing the 50 state capitals has come in handy. And obviously I haven't used it very much over the years, because the majority of it's gone. I did get quite a few. And then we also came up with a suggestion that maybe the capital of every state should just be capital city. That the states have all their normal their cities, and there's just one city in each state that's called capital city XYZ of whatever state. It just make it easier. Just standardize the shit. I don't know. But we had some fun driving home then and laughed. We laughed a bunch. We had a lot of wrong answers, a lot of funny, interesting answers, and a lot of answers that we were just guessing at that ended up being right. So it was interesting. It was fun. Try it with a phone in your pocket and being able to just Google it or Chat GPT. Just ask it for a list of the 50 states and capitals, and see what you could get right. See how you do. Do you remember? Did you learn them in 5th grade? And how many do you remember of the 50 capitals? I didn't do very well. I'll tell you that. But anyway, that was that. I don't think there was really a winner or loser in the game. It wasn't. We weren't doing it as competition. We were basically just trying to put our heads together and come up with enough right answers. So anyway, give it a try. How many do you know? And if you know a good reason why we should know all the states or all the state capitals, come on over to the Telegram group at t.me/LotsChat. That's t.me/LotsChat, and say, hey, you're a dumbass. We should know the state capitals because of this. I would love to know. Anyway, let's move on. I kind of came up with a little bit of a conspiracy theory of my own. It's not deep and dark. It's not the Epstein files. It's not P. Diddy. It's not Illuminati. But they all could be involved. Seriously, they all could be involved. I don't know. But the other day, Kori bought a jug of windshield wiper fluid for the truck. We were out. We were completely out. She is. You see the memes, the videos that make fun of that there's usually one person in a relationship that will let the window get as dirty as possible before they clean it, and then another part of the couple will be immediately hitting the windshield wiper fluid as soon as there is one bug on it or one little raindrop. The windshield wipers come on. I am definitely the former, and Kori is the latter in our relationship. I could give two shits about as long as I can see through it. It is what it is, and Kori wants it crystal clear all the time. So we were out of windshield wiper fluid. She bought a jug, and she is not tall enough to fill it. So she was going to fill it when she bought it, but she brought it home and asked if I would do it, so she didn't have to get her little ladder out. Anyway, I went out and completely empty. It was completely empty. I popped the cap open, and it was just in a horrible spot. And I started filling it. It takes a little while. And pouring it really slow, being careful. Didn't spill very much. I was surprised, but it ends up filling up, and I fill it right to the rim. And I shut the cap, and I look at the jug, and there's probably an inch of windshield wiper fluid in the bottom of the jug. And I said, why can't they make the fucking reservoir a gallon? Or a little over a gallon, so you don't have to run it dry. But why do they make it slightly less than a gallon? So every time you buy a gallon of windshield wiper fluid in which they sell it, or why don't they sell it in 3/4 gallon jugs? Why do we have to carry around windshield wiper fluid all the fucking time? Partial bottles of it. Why do they stack up in your garage? Why do they sit in the back of your truck or in the trunk of your car? Just a little bit in the bottom, and then you gotta stop and top it off after you've used a little bit. Can't these two companies fucking get together and either make the reservoirs bigger or make the jugs you buy smaller? Is this a ploy to get you to just throw the shit out? I don't know. I got one sitting in the back of the truck now that I I got a jug in the back of the truck, in the back seat of the truck right now that's got it's got less than an inch of liquid in it, and I can't bring myself to throw the jug away. I've contemplated just dumping the shit on the ground, but I or going and just hitting the sprayer long enough to hopefully drain it enough to put the rest in. But why do we have to do this? Can we just make it half gallons that we sell of washer fluid? Do most cars have at least a half gallon reservoir? I mean, I got a big fucking truck, and I was surprised that it didn't suck the whole gallon, and I'm kind of pissed off about it if you can't tell. Hunter, going back to the last segment, it says Alabama in the South and summary capital rhymes Montgomery in Alaska. There's always snow, capital city, Juneau. Wow. I knew the state song, the alphabetical order state song, and I had heard rumblings that there was a song for the capitals, but I don't think I ever knew the capital song. I just remembered them. So anyway, windshield wiper fluid. If I'm ever in charge, if I'm ever the ruler of the world, we will standardize on smaller windshield washer fluid jugs and windshield wiper fluid jugs will be smaller and the reservoirs in the cars will be larger so that we can just buy it and just put it all in and we'll just be done with it. Hunter says, I'm 45 now. That was in middle school. I was in Oregon. I don't know how that shit stuck. It's a pneumatic device, dude. That's why it stuck. And they made you sing it 4 million times. That's the random shit you remember. I still remember several stories from my math, one of my math teachers that he taught geometry and some of the formulas. Like I remember the area or circumference of a circle and things like that are from the little stories he told that ended up with the punchline of the little joke or the little rhyme being the formula of the how to figure it out. I still say them when I'm trying to figure out, remember those little formulas. I still say the little punchlines of the jokes that he would tell in class. So that was a long time ago. So some teachers got it, man. Some teachers got it. Figure it out. Anyway, what do you do with the rest of the little bit of windshield wiper fluid that's left in the bottle when you have some left over? Do you toss it? Do you put it in another vehicle? Do you haul it around with you until you can actually fit it in? Oh man, just irritates me to no end. And yeah, that is what it is. Couple other things before we wrap up. One is we watched The Founder for, I think we've seen it a couple times now, maybe 3. The story of Ray Kroc and McDonald's. And if you don't know who Ray Kroc is or what McDonald's is, Ray Kroc was the guy that turned McDonald's into what it is now. I don't want to say he was the guy that started McDonald's, because he wasn't. If you watch the movie, you'll understand why there's a little confusion there. But movie about his life and the story of the genesis of McDonald's. And it's interesting because when we go to Savannah, we drive by a McDonald's on our route a couple different times. We on the way into town, and then it's kind of like right in the center of town. And no matter where you're going, whether you're going to whether we're going to Tractor Supply, whether I'm going to the laundromat, we're going to the grocery store, whatever, you end up going by this McDonald's. And this place is absolutely packed every time I've been by it. I haven't personally eaten McDonald's in, like Kori and I were trying to remember. It hasn't been, we haven't had it since we left Minnesota that we can remember. And it was quite a while before we left that we had been there. We've hit up other fast food places, Hardee's, Arby's, and things like that. But McDonald's just hasn't been one that we've had in a long time. So I don't even know what the deal is anymore there. But this McDonald's is absolutely packed every time we go by. The parking lot is huge. It circles the whole building. The building is huge. I don't know how many people will fit in there. I don't know how many employees they have there, but there's got to be at least 30 cars around this building at all times, and always a line at the drive-thru, both at the order window or the order screen part and at the window. And sometimes, depending on what time of day it is, it'll be wrapped around the building. And you can't like get into the parking lot. There's people like on the street waiting to get in. And I don't understand. There's plenty of other fast food places in Savannah. We drive past several. We were naming them off as we were driving, like I said, Hardee's and Arby's and Jack's and Sonic and just all over the place. There's fast food. So it's not like the only fast food restaurant in the city or town, I guess. I don't know if I would call it a city, but just unbelievably busy all the time. And the funny thing is, I'm a member of a lot of the local Facebook groups, and I saw a post the other day. It appears that they're going to be shutting down for a short period of time to remodel the McDonald's, and it is a hot button topic in the town where everybody will go while it's closed. So I don't know if this is the best McDonald's on the face of the earth, or if they got something special going on there, or what's going on. But I don't understand why this place is absolutely overflowing with people every day, all day, no matter when I go to the city or go to the town of Savannah. It is just packed. I would go and check it out, but I don't like people enough to go and deal with the crowd there at the local McDonald's. So they're doing good for themselves. I mean, good for them. I don't know what the deal is. I really, we stopped going because the food made us sick. It felt like the lowest quality of any of the fast food that we could get when we were in Minnesota, and we just ended up stopping going because it made us sick. So kind of turns my stomach to think about going, but there's got to be something good. Going on at the McDonald's there, because it is always absolutely packed. So anyway, if you enjoyed the show, one thing you could do to help me out, you could go to thelotsproject.com. If you're going to be shopping on Amazon, click on the banner that says, "Are you shopping on Amazon today?" Click here. That'll get you in my affiliate tracking. I'll get a little bit of credit for anything you buy on that shopping trip. I earn a small commission at no additional cost to you. I really appreciate that. It helps a ton. When you go through the website, it is a little higher commission than my on-site videos, which I got a bunch coming out. And you could also go to YouTube, watch any of the videos at the Lots Project YouTube channel, any of the product videos, and click the links in the description or in the little tag in the corner, and it'll get in our tracking. So I appreciate that. If you would do that, helps us out. Other than that, you can check out the Blockstream Jade if you're into Bitcoin. Check out the new Bitcoin 30-second podcast. You can search that in any of your podcast players. I stopped doing the videos. The videos were clogging up my feed and basically getting very no views. So the algorithm did not like them for sure. So the juice wasn't worth the squeeze there. But you can go and check those out. Bitcoin 30 seconds. Just type that into your podcast player. All under 30 seconds and daily releases. So check it out. Depending on downloads for this first month, I'll do another month, but we're all staged and ready through the end of August. So check that out. Share it with a Bitcoin beginner or someone that was interested in learning about the concepts. Bitcoin 30 seconds. Other than that, come on, hang out with us in the Telegram chat at t.me/lotschat. That's t.me/lotschat. Come and hang out with a bunch of cool folks and keep up with what's going on from week to week. Hope you have an awesome week, guys. If you got a to-do list, I hope you get it to make it a to-done list, and we will talk to you again next Monday.
Shining